forgot that, Chakravyuh. And then halfway he had his wife Uttara had gone to sleep, so he could not complete the story. So Abhimanyu was a brave son who, at the age of 16, went to a war and fought bravely, and he died bravely out there only. So he was still, Maharaj Parikshit was still unborn, and that time Mahabharata was over and there was hardly anybody left. So he was the last of the person who was qualified to become the king. So there was a person, um, what was his name? Who killed Ashwatthama, yes. So I'm sorry, I remember. Ashwatthama realized that this is the last of the sign of his Pandava family. So he tried to kill using Brahmastra. And at that time, though Maharaj Parikshit was still in the womb, still a very young child, not even developed yet, he was feeling the intense heat of Brahmastra. And then Lord Krishna, to protect him, immediately entered the womb and protected him. So Maharaj Parikshit was so fortunate that even before birth, he had seen personally Krishna, and entire his life he just wanted to see who was the person who protected me. So he was constantly thinking about Krishna only. So when he became the emperor of the entire planet, not in some country but the entire planet, so he was going for hunting, and then he came across Shamik, who was having that Maun Vrat or vow of silence for the particular day. He was trying to do something. So he was asking, okay, could you please give me the directions? And he did not speak. So he thought that though he is awake, he is not listening to me. He got angry and then he just took a dead snake and put around the neck of this Shamik Rishi. And after that, he left. And then his son came, Shringi. He got very angry that who hurt my innocent father like this, and he immediately cursed those who has done this. That person should die within 7 days. Now imagine a person who's the king of the entire planet, who's led such a soft life and such a comfortable life, and suddenly he is cursed to die within 7 days. And he had all the luxuries of life. But the minute he heard, what would be his thought process? He straight away took it as okay, though Krishna had protected him, he could have again asked for help. But he realized, okay, this is Krishna's mercy. So immediately he gave up everything and went to forest where Shukdev Goswami was sitting with the sages and asked him to tell me what is the purpose of life and how should I perfect it. Because he realized this is the ultimate goal. So 7 days, 7 nights, he was just constantly listening to the instructions, and within 7 days, not only he using this Shravanam, he had perfected his life. In fact, told the essence of this because his mother Uttara also wanted, because there was nobody left in the family. So she was very attached to son. So he said, okay, what is your conclusion? Because now you are about to leave me in any case. So then at that time, what he had learned within those 7 days, he gave a summary of that to his mother Uttara and he left his body. So that's why a person who knew that he had just 7 days, he perfected his life just by listening. So that's why he's Acharya of Shravanam. Then we'll be talking about Kirtanam. Who would be? Yeah, so Shravan, yeah, there is another thing. This is a very important verse. It comes in Chaitan Charitamrita Antalila. Cheto Darpan Marjanam Bhav Maha Davagni Nirvapanam Shreya Kairava Chandrika Vyartanam Vidya Vadhu Jivanam Anand Buddhim Vardhanam Pratipadam Purnam Shradadam Sarvatma Sapna Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. So it is also highlighting that when you are constantly listening to the holy names of God or Krishna, so slowly our hearts start cleansing. And when we are talking about cleansing, I had an interesting incident yesterday. I went to meet one of my friends, and he had one student who's now is partnering and who's going to do jiu-jitsu. So I just asked him, he said, okay, how do we proceed? How do we market this? So I said, okay, please tell me something about yourself. And then he said that, okay, he has been into learning jiu-jitsu for 10 years and for 4 years he's been teaching. So I was just wondering, okay, and what was your background? So he said, well, before that I was peddling drugs. I was into downright crime. So from crime, he has now come into martial arts and he's instructing and he's trying to train. Yeah, he's training kids now. So he has somewhat cleaned this. So this was an example I found only yesterday. So many of us think that, okay, I started chanting, so I should clean myself. But what we are not understanding, okay, this person was doing something very mundane, peddling drugs, and now he has done something not nothing related to spirituality, but then he still improved his life. We are talking about devotional life. So which are the anarthas? We are talking anarthas like not which are not cleaning only this lifetime, what we have accumulated from previous lifetimes. So this chanting is something not only on this life, but it is retroactive. It goes in the past, on past lives, and from there it starts cleaning. So this is the importance of Shravanam. Then second is Kirtanam. Harer Nam, Harer Namev Kevalam. Kalau Nasti Eva Nasti, E Nasti Eva Gatir Anyatha. In Adi Lila it is mentioned. So where we are living the age of quarrel and hypocrisy. So only holy name of the Lord is the way. There is no other way, there is no other way, there is no other way. Now, when we repeat something three times, that means that this is the conclusion. This is for final conclusion. Now, some of us wonder why are we talking about quarrel and hypocrisy? You realize when we go outside a temple and you read any of the news in any of the channels, you realize we are talking about democracy, but there is no democracy. And the more we are trying to tell people that don't do this, we are actually doing it ourselves. So we are living in the age of quarrel and hypocrisy, and we want everybody to serve us. And when they don't serve, we get angry at them. We get into quarrel. So this is the age of Kali, and this is a classic feature of that. So as you might have guessed, the Acharya of this is Shukdev Goswami, who is telling this to Parishit Maharaj, because he was Acharya of Shravanam, so obviously Kirtanam, because if a person was willing to listen for 7 days and 7 nights, the person who is telling him will be also talking about 7 days and 7 nights. So he is the Acharya of Kirtanam. So who was Shukdev Goswami? It is mentioned in scriptures that Shukdev Goswami was not an ordinary person. He is son of Vyasadev, who is incarnation of God himself. And he was in previous life personal parrot of Srimati Radharani only. That's why his name is Shukdev. And who could be more pure than that? So he is the one who's telling about the glories of chanting. And that's how, if we just keep on chanting, that's why in temple also focus on like, okay, just keep on chanting the Mahamantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. It's benefiting two ways, because when we are constantly telling, so we are not only talking to people who are around us, but there are many souls which are going around us. There are many insects unknown, unseen to us. There are small bacteria and all of them are benefiting. So that is the glory of Kirtanam. Then comes Smarnam. Tasmat Sarveshu Kaleshu Mam Anusmar Yudhyacha Maya Arpita Mano Buddhir Mam Evashyasu Ashamshaya. So here Lord Krishna is telling Arjun, because Arjun was very perturbed that he is supposed to go into fratricide or killing his father side people and devotee, other acharyas and relatives. So Krishna is telling him that when you are dedicating all your activities to me, and your mind and your intelligence fixed on me, you will attain me without doubt. In other words, whatever we are doing, if we are keeping Krishna in the center of life, we are going in the right direction. Whatever activities we are doing, because Krishna will slowly facilitate situation which is conducive for us. Because a loving parent never means any harm for his child. The child may think that father or mother is trying to discipline me. They are being harsh. But a loving parent is always looking what is the best for the child. They are putting so much sacrifices, and Krishna is the ultimate parent. So he is saying that if you are just focused, you please continue. If whether you are playing or if you are thinking of God constantly, all your activities are not a mundane activities anymore, but they actually become devotional service. So, who would be the example or acharya for this? Would be Prahlad Maharaj. Now, why would Prahlad Maharaj is the acharya for this? If you remember, the starting verse was quoted to Prahlad Maharaj only. Now, it's very easy for us who are coming to temple to talk about advancing in devotional life, and the kids who are in our family, they are also already getting exposed. So they are second generation. They are already exposed to Krishna consciousness. So it's easy for them to advance. But what makes Maharaj Parikshit so special is he was coming from the family of demon. Hiranyakashipu's sole objective was to destroy Vishnu. And Prahlad Maharaj, right from childhood days, he was talking only about Vishnu. So father is enemy, and Prahlad Maharaj is a total friend. So this is what is the specialty. And he went through so many ordeals. His own father was trying to kill him, use various activities. His teachers were against him. He was living in a place where, other than him and his mother who loved him, everybody else was against him. So in that scenario, he was always thinking about Krishna or Vishnu. So there are five types of smarnam. First of all, we have to find out, like you have known that Krishna has so many activities. In fact, when you say the Dashavatama of Vishnu, so there are many avatars, and many devotees get attracted by particular activity. Some people get activated by, like, okay, he was a thief, so he was stealing butter, so somebody gets attracted by that. Okay, somebody finds, in especially in Vrindavan, they are in the mood, okay, he was with his friends, gopis and gopas, so they are thinking those lines. So whatever form, devotee searches a form in which he finds more attractive. Like this example, when Mahabharata was going on, there was this Bhishma Pitama. He was also a very good devotee, and he understood that he has to fight Krishna, but he had a particular pastime. So his wish was that he wanted to see that Krishna and Arjun as a warrior appear in front of him when he is about to die. So that was his mood. He was also a devotee, but he was in warrior mood, so he wanted to see like that. So that is the first form. And then when you are concentrating mind on that particular form of the Lord, so you are basically taking away your mind's activities from all other material activities. And then you are, after concentrating the mind, you are start concentrating on that particular form of the Lord itself. And when you are constantly remembering the particular form of the Lord, that's called actually meditation. And then when you actually automatically start liking for this concentration, this form, this is called samadhi or trance. Some people are mistaken that, okay, when samadhi or trance is that, okay, the last time you think about it and then your body air goes out of your body, and also that's not a trance. We are talking about everything which is active and practical. So this is the final stage of when you are in samadhi or trance, like thing, whatever activity you do, automatically you are thinking about Krishna. Then fourth is Pada Sevanam. The best example would be the goddess of fortune and auspiciousness, Lakshmi Devi. She comes in various avatars wherever Lord Vishnu goes. But then, why is she the Acharya of that? The very fact that she is prayed for, like those of you who are aware of this festival of Diwali in India, they open their doors and then lockers and all those things, that Lakshmi Devi will come and bless us with all those things. So the person who is blessing good fortune and money and good luck or auspiciousness to all others, she needs nothing else. But whatever she is doing, she is always serving his feet. She's cooking. She's not that only just massaging his legs, but she's making or taking care of all his activities, what he needs to eat and all those things on day-to-day basis. She's taking care of all his activities. Despite having such an high ranking position, she is serving. So that's why she is the Acharya of Padsevanam. But there are other process. When we are saying that it's a Padsevanam, it also includes other processes like seeing the form of the Lord, touching the form of the Lord, visiting places like Jagannath Puri, Dwarka, Mathura, and bathing in Ganges or Yamuna. And some people think that, okay, you are taking Ganges bath. Of course, here it's very difficult. That's why you realize that sometimes the devotees are being sprinkled with the little water which we could manage to get from Ganges, or because of mantras we could make them Ganges water. Then they are being distributed. But that is also Path Sevana when you are taking water and hotel water. And then serving the Vaishnavas, Tulsi Devi, we have this room for Tulsi Devi also. Ganges and Yamuna are also included in Path Sevanam. And when we are doing any of these processes, all these processes, then we are advancing in our spiritual life very quickly. Then comes Archanam. There is this Maharaj Prithu. Here we see that he is serving the four Kumars, or very exalted devotees. Now, there's an interesting pastime. Who was this Maharaj Prithu? He's nobody else but a incarnation of Lord Vishnu himself. But his birth came under very different circumstances. He is son of King Vane, who was in turn son of King Ang. And this person, Vane, was so evil that in one of the lectures, Anand Maharaj was mentioning that there were no dacoits or no evil person in the kingdom of King Vane because he was the biggest dacoit of them all. So he was not sparing even in his own subjects. He was so evil. So he was so bad that Brahmins got very upset with him and they actually killed him using mantras. And then they started but now he was dead and there was nobody to take care of. So they started churning his body. And from churning of his body, from his leg came a very dwarf person who was very black in color called Nishad, basically, which symbolizes all the evil of that. And then he just ran away to the forest to become an aborigine. And from his right arm of the dead body came Maharaj Prithu. And he was a person, since he was not born of any other thing, but just because of the purification process, he was devoid of any anarthas, and he was very good. And he would serve with all his capacity to the devotees, and he was serving his kingdom. And when he was going to kingdom, he was not thinking, I am king. Because he, okay, this is my duty, my role as a king. So he was serving, he was earning his living as a king. That was his level of thought process. So whatever he had, he was applying everything in the service of Krishna. Become perfect in Archana, one person should some take a bona fide spiritual master. Like we see that there are many devotees who want to serve the deities. So firstly, they ask who's a qualified person, and then they start taking lessons, who have taken in turn lessons from better teachers, and then they are following that. And then Archana Vidhi is very important for grihasthas, like those who are coming at a home. Because when I'm interacting with students, some of them they say, okay, they are good students. They say that, okay, yeah, actually we our mother is taking care of this deity worship at home. Because temple is not the only place where temple is, because Krishna is everywhere. So if we can give that place in our heart and in our home, that's a duty of a grihastha. So give this sanskar or these rituals to our progenies also, so that they actually become the devotees. So this they act as a spiritual master to their own kids. That's the purpose. So basically, if we are not able to do that, at least we must see how deity worship is done, and that also helps us. And we try to keep ourselves clean. It's I mentioned Agni Puran. That's also the duty of a grihastha. Then comes Vandanam. Now here is another example. You realize that our pastimes always have extreme examples. So Vritrasur was a demon, and here you can see in this picture, he's actually beating Indra very badly. And then he was saying, Aham Hare to Paday Mool, Dasanu Doso Bhavat Sami Bhuya, Manah Smratiru, Patera Gunam Shay, Vrihatika Vat Karm Karotikam Kia. O Lord, O my Lord, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, will I again be able to be a servant of your eternal servants who find shelter only at your lotus feet? O Lord of my life, may I again become their servant so that my mind may always think of your transcendental attributes, my word always glorify those attributes, and my body always engage in the loving service of your Lordship. This is not coming from a devotee, he is coming from a demon who was meant to avenge against the demigods. So he is giving this because he was again a pious person, a pious king in his previous life, but somehow he managed to offend Parvati Devi when she was with Lord Shiva. So she said, okay, since you are behaving like this, you become a demon. But then he did not lose his consciousness, because the devotion is leads to such credits which go across the lifetimes. So he was when he knew that he was about to leave his body. And in fact, when he was fighting with Indra was so scared that he was not able to fight. So he Vritrasur actually was preaching Indra that, why are you scared? Why are you running away? You are fighting for the Lord. Why are you getting away? And if you fight against me, you are just doing your duty. For me, I'll be perfecting life. So who can preach his own enemy? So he was that type of a devotee. Now, basically, who's the Acharya? Acharya for this is Akrur, who was a commander in chief actually in Vrishni dynasty in which Lord Krishna took birth. And at Vrishni dynasty, Kans was so cruel that he had Ugrasen was his father. He had made him a prisoner, and he was a total dictator out there. And he feared Krishna all the time, and that's why he was sending demons. But in the end, when he realized that he just cannot kill Krishna from a distance, it's like he was thinking to do micromanaging, doing satellite type of arrangement, so to kill. But he realized it's not happening. So he wanted Krishna to come to his place so that he used all his power to kill Krishna. That was his mentality. But then he realized that it's a difficult task, and why would people from Vrindavan would send, knowing that he's the one who's trying to kill Krishna, will send him. So he said, okay, I need some person who's more reliable. And everybody was scared of Kans, and everybody was trying to please Kans. But Akrur, who incidentally happened to be the uncle of Krishna, he was not bothered. Even Kans knew that even though I am dictator, but he still doesn't care about me. He follows because he has to follow me. He is looking at my position. That's why he's helping me this position, not me. But he is the only one who still loves Krishna. So Krishna will definitely listen to him. So that's why he sent him. And when Akrur was going there, he was just thinking, okay, I'll be seeing Krishna. And he was always thinking about Krishna. So he was thinking, okay, if I go to Krishna, how will he think? How will he feel? He was not thinking what is purpose, just thinking Krishna all the time. When he was coming back, then he was wondering, though I am taking, suddenly he realized because when your examination is happening as a student, then you start realizing, oh God, I should prepare more. Then suddenly he started getting fearful. Oh my God, I am taking those two small kids of mine, Krishna and Balram. But what purpose I am taking them? This Kans will actually be killing. So what do I do? He was getting very scared. So just before going there, he said, okay, I'll take a bath. The minute he took a dip in the water, suddenly he saw, instead of Krishna, Balram, he saw that Lord Vishnu with Anant Shesh. And then he thought, am I having some illusions? He realized that he is looking at Krishna and Balram only, but in different form. But he was still wondering, no, but they are kids. So he just came out of water and again he checked, oh there are two boys. So still so fearful, he again dipped. So he dipped 3 times. And every time he saw Krishna and Balram, then he understood, okay, so I should not be worrying. This is a Lord Vishnu's way of telling me that not be afraid. And that's why he is the Acharya of prayers or Vandanam. So there are 4 categories of Vandanam. One is praising the glories, then offering gratitude to the Lord, like whatever we do, like this, we say that even if we are not doing anything, at least we think, take name of Krishna at least 3 times before eating food if we are not remembering anything. And then Nivedan, basically never demanding any material things from the Lord and apologizing to the Lord. That one must say that, oh, why should I apologize? What have I done wrong? But the thing is that knowingly, unknowingly, we are doing many wrong things. So we are asking for apology for all those things which we are not even aware of. Now somebody say, oh, I'm such a Bhagavad. How can I be doing this? The very fact we are here in this material world is because of our previous anarthas or previous mistakes. So we are apologizing to Lord first. These are the 4 categories of Vandana. Then comes Dasyam. Anyavarasa Shunyam, Jnana Karmadi Anavratam, Anukulyan Krishna, Shilanam Bhaktir Uttama. When we are constantly serving Lord lovingly and favorably without any expectation in return, or okay, what will happen? Sometimes we also think, okay, oh, I'm thinking about God, but does God exist? Even Mother Teresa, who was such a noble lady, even she had doubt at times that, okay, does God exist? But a devotee does not think like that. So when we are just thinking about Krishna, we are just whatever we do or becoming a part of our life, then we don't even bother whether it's serving or not because we are whatever we do is related to Krishna only. So that becomes Dasyam Bhav. And for this, our Acharya is Hanuman because he was one person like he is supposed to be the ideal devotee because what is the definition of a servant or das is that he does what the master wants to do. So Hanuman was given a task. Okay, go find Mother Sita. It was just a simple task. But why is it such a wonderful person. Because at the time he was even not aware of his powers, because he was cursed in the previously that okay, you, since you are so mischievous, you have all the powers, you forget all your powers, and you'll remember when somebody else reminds you. So when the right time came, and then his friends told him that you are powerful Hanuman, and then he remembered. So not only he went to Lanka, he defeated firstly Sursa, and then other demon, and then Lanka Devi who was protecting. His purpose was just to find where is Sita, but he went, defeated everybody, went out there, gave the message from Lord Ram to Mother Sita. Not only he gave that, after that he said, okay, now since I've served my purpose, so I should actually do the reconnaissance, figure out what are the strengths and weaknesses of this Ravan, where are the places, and not only this, he just went out there and actually destroyed Lanka totally. And with all this, and then after that he comes back and he remains humble. He had no ego, I have done something. He did what was told to him and beyond that. And that's why he is our Acharya. So when we are talking, when we are serving, because words are okay, but if you have, say, let's say two children, and one child is just talking sweet things to you, but the other one is actually serving, the one who's serving is even better than the one who's just talking sweet. So basically, when we are talking about dasyam, we are not talking only about God, but those who are trying to serve God, we are serving them, then obviously we are being following this dasyam mode. So when we are serving the Lord, we get the mercy. So this is another important aspect of Navad Bhakti. Then comes Sakyam, in which you are always thinking at par with God. Sa evyam ma yeta yoga prokta puratana bhaktosmi sakha cheti rasyasam hi etad uttamam. So here Krishna is himself telling Arjun that I am telling you, because there were many people who are very qualified, but Krishna is telling that he is telling this to Arjun because not only Arjun is his good friend and his devotee, that's why he is telling him. Because if you look at it, Bhishma Pitama has an Ichha Mrityu, like he would die only when he wants to die. And he was also a Ganga Putra. But this was being told to Arjun because he is the one who is in this Sakhya Raf. So it's not an emotion, but it's exalted power to devotion. So when we are thinking about God as a friend, then actually we are advancing also very well. So this is a very important process. And Acharya is of course Arjun. And when do we call a person a friend? When we are having intense love for that person. Like in they say that who's our friend? Friend is where we, in whom we see our second self. A person, a friend is our actually mirror reflection. What we see in that person is what we see ourselves. And a person is not who's just here to flatter, but a person who's honest enough to tell you on our face, okay, boss, you're wrong. This is not how it is to be done. So this is highlighted by Krishna himself, that Dasya ras is okay, but if you are Sakyam, it's even better because you're not only Dasi, you are also loving much more intensely. Then Atma Nivedanam. This is the ninth and the final process when we completely surrender to God. Man mana bhav mad bhakto mad yaya mam namaskuru mam evakshasi yuktavanam atmanam mat pranaya. Engage your mind always in thinking of me, his Krishna. Become Krishna's devotee. Offer obeisance to Krishna and worship Krishna. Be completely absorbed in Krishna and surely you come to Krishna. This is what he is mentioning. So who would be the Acharya? Here we are talking about Bali Maharaj. In this, a devotee has no aim other than serving the Lord. He just surrenders everything to the Lord and performs his work only to please the Lord. Now, we will be thinking that why we are talking about Bali Maharaj. Now, Bali Maharaj was again a demon king, and demigods, they always had this fear that demons will be beating us. So again, they realize that Bali Maharaj is very powerful. So we need somebody to defeat him. So again, they go back to Vishnu, please help. Because demigods are of course demigods. So they are always, any problem, they go to God only. So they were asking, okay, please help. So he takes the form of a boy, Brahmin boy. And then he goes there. And Bali Maharaj just simply says, okay, what is it you want? He said, okay, what do I want? I'm a Brahmin. So just give me I'll walk 3 steps. You give me the 3 steps, what I cover in that. So Bali Maharaj said, well, what sense it makes? I control the entire universe. Everything is in my power. Even demigods are subservient to me. So why are you not asking something much more valuable? He said, no, I'm such a boy. That's good enough. But then Bali Maharaj's teacher, Shukracharya, he realized, oh, this is Vishnu himself who has come. So he said, please don't do this. But Bali Maharaj said, no, you please don't stop me because I am serving and it's my vow to give donations. So I'll give donate. You please don't stop me. And to stop from donation, because he realized, Shukracharya realized that now Bali Maharaj is not going to listen to me. And when you are donating something, you give it the water. So he inside this water pot. So that when he is trying to give it water, so water won't come out. So he was in that pot. Then but Mali Maharaj realized, okay, so there is this. And so he took one blade of grass and poked inside it. So Shukracharya's eye got destroyed, and he, out of pain, he just left out of that. And then, of course, Bali Maharaj donated his three. Wow, okay, you take 3 steps. In first step, he took over care of the entire earth, and second step, he took care of the entire universe. And then Bali Maharaj is asked, okay, now what? Where do I put my third step? You gave promise of 3 steps. Now you give only 2 steps. What about third? So he said, okay, now everything belongs to you, but I still have something which is mine, and that is me. So you please put your final step on my head. And that's why he gave away that thing. So this example could be like Bali Maharaj and Amrish Maharaj, like they give everything because they knew that, okay, we are depending on our God only. So they just give everything. Even though he was a demon, he gave everything to Bali Maharaj. Now we will say, okay, what's so great? Then we must realize that his grandfather was Prahlad Maharaj, who is one of the 12 Mahajans. And Bali Maharaj also became a Mahajan. And when he was, please understand one thing, when somebody takes away everything, even your body or everything, then what is the consciousness? He was simply saying, my Lord, my dear Lord, you simultaneously punished me and showed me your careful mercy, causeless mercy. My conclusion is that when I have taken shelter of your lotus feet, I shall never be disturbed in any condition of life, whether you give me the opportunity to enjoy all the yogic perfections or you put me in the most abominable condition of hellish life. I shall never be disturbed. This is Bali Maharaj's consciousness when he has given up everything. Even though his teacher is telling that you are being cheated, he still gives away what he had earned by his own merits. He gave away that. And Krishna himself says, Uddhav is very close to Krishna. He says that, my dear friend, how can I express the glorious characteristics of Bali Maharaj? I cheated him everything. I took out everything. But still he is loving me. That's the glory of Bali Maharaj. And this Atma is the final process. Now, if I were to ask what are the 9 processes, it becomes a bit difficult. So, Rup Goswami says, Parikshit Maharaj attained salvation by merely hearing. Shukdev Goswami attained salvation by merely chanting. Prahlad Maharaj by remembering. Lakshmi Devi by worshipping lotus feet. Prithu Maharaj by worshipping the Lord. Akrur by praying. Hanuman by serving. Arjun by being friend with God. And Bali Maharaj by offering everything in service. So all these great devotees serve the Lord according to their particular procedure, but each of them attained salvation. They all became perfect because of one of these processes, 9 processes. So to put it in chart form, when we are saying Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Padsevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atma Nivedanam. So these are the 9 processes. And what do they mean? And the shloks which actually refer to the glory of these prayers, they are mentioned here. Now, so we understand that each and every process, if we perfect any of these process, we perfect our lives. Like if we are good in any of 9 things, we have already perfected our life. We have seen all the examples. But how about, like it's something like this, okay, you are good. There's this one devotee couple which lives in Finland. So Prabhuji is specializing in sweet dishes and Mata is specializing in salty dishes. But a person who can cook both the dishes will obviously be seen even better. So if he can be better in one than more than one process, the results will be even better. So now when we talk about this, so of course we are always looking to perfection. So we'd like to know, is there any person who has perfected all these processes? Yeah, so okay, so I'm being told, so I'll just now cut short. So this is the picture. You can see Durvasa Muni is running away from Sudarshan Chakra because he offended a devotee called Amrish Maharaj. Who was this Amrish Maharaj? What was the story? Is that basically Sudarshan Chakra was Amrish Maharaj was having one vow that he was fasting for 1 year, and after that, when he was about to break the fast, then Indra again got scared. So he told him that Durvasa Muni, why don't you just go and be a great devotee like Amrish Maharaj? Because he knew that his fast is not broken, then he'll not achieve the results. So he went out there, and suddenly he realized that 1 year is going. So Durvasa Muni said, okay, wait for me, I'll just take bath and I'll quickly come. But then he was taking longer time. So others told that you just take a drop of water. You are neither eating, but you are still able to break the fast. But Durvasa Muni said, okay, you do not wait for me, I'll kill you. So he sent one demon out there. So Sudarshan Chakra was always protecting Amrish Maharaj. So he killed the demon and started running towards Durvasa Muni. So Durvasa Muni ran everywhere, but finally Lord Vishnu told him that you please go back and ask the forgiveness from Amrish Maharaj. So he was the one who had perfected all the processes. So whatever he was hearing to the glories of the Lord. When he was chanting, he was glorifying the name of the Lord. He was remembering Lord all the time. He was always serving in temple worship and humble services, and he was always worshipping, deity worship, and he was always praying. Basically, he was looking at his kingdom also as his family only, and everything as a temple, entire kingdom as temple, and he was serving as servant only. All his royal duty, he was a royal servant, to put it in his own thought process. And he cultivated a personal trusting relation with the Lord and thought of him only as a friend and guide. And he surrendered everything, body, mind, soul, unto the Lord. So now, finally, we conclude to this. When we are living the times of anxiety, uncertainty, and moral complexity, we talk about peace, grounding, and the spiritual practices. And it's not only in our faith, in any faith you will find that people, Bhakti Yoga, we talk about praying the deity. Depending on your faith, you have different deities. You can do that. Going for pilgrimage, prayers. Christians go for daily readings and prayers. They do their own spiritual thing. Muslims, they do fasting for entire month of Ramadan. And in other scriptures also, even in Bible, it is mentioned, love the Lord, your God, with all your heart, a call to full devotion. So basically, when you have devotion, whether you're talking about spiritual, personal, social, it's highly relevant because it helps focused. When world is not listening to anything, attention spans are very lost, and everybody is cynical, and everybody is trying to dominate. So when you are devoted to higher purpose, it offers stability, inspiration, and transformation. And instead of thinking some old-fashioned thing, it is a vital force which gives us perseverance and purpose. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.